Hi, this is Michael with Marine Detail Supply here on a 26 Pathfinder that we have in our shop for a customer that has some really bad scratches on their hull. They had their boat down in the Florida Keys for lobster season. Somebody left some lobster juice on the side of the boat, baked in the sun for a day. They came back and couldn't get it off. So what do? They go get a red Scotch-Brite, the worst pad that you could use on the side of the boat. They created a bunch of marring and scratches, as you can see right in this area. And then over in this area as well, there's some more definitive scratches a little bit further down, but we're gonna be focusing on these scratches today. We're gonna be using 1,000 Abralon to start, and we're gonna wet sand this area so that we can get some of these scratches out. And then after we finish with 1,000, we'll move to 2,000 to cut those 1,000 scratches that we created a little bit further down, making them a little smaller for us to polish out with our rotary machine here with Level R. After 2,000, if we need to, which isn't really necessary, but you can if you want a perfect finish, is 3,000 Abralon, which will make, again, the polishing step a little bit easier. So let's get to it. Let's grab our Flex XFE 15. By the way, this is a 5-inch backing plate. You can also use a 6-inch backing plate. They make these in 6, 5-inch, 3-inch, and 1-inch Abralon. The reason why we're using the Mirka Abralon and not Abranet Ace is because they're designed for wet sanding. The Abranet Ace is designed for more of a vacuum system. The foam interface pad is already built into the sandpaper, so no need to worry about like hitting this edge here and burning through, because you've got the foam pad here to kind of prevent that from happening. So first we're going to wet down. I'm gonna wet down the area. You could do this dry, but what happens is your sandpaper just gets clogged up really easy. So when you're gonna start wet sanding, everybody's always afraid when they hear wet sanding, but you don't really have to be afraid. Gel coat is mils thick and you're not gonna burn through it like paint. When you're using the machine, you don't wanna really go too fast. I run the machine on like 2 or 3 at the most. Sometimes you could spin it up to a 4. Just nice and consistent, even patterns over the surface that you're trying to get the scratches out of. So let's start here at the top and work this in. Now I'm gonna go over this one more time. When you're wet sanding, you wanna change these pads frequently, because if not, you're just going to make your job a lot longer. Alrighty, now that we've done 1,000 Abralon, we're gonna move to 2,000. I like to jump up increments of 1,000. Some people ask me, well, if I'm gonna wet sand, like, should I go like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500? It's not really necessary. 2,000 is really all you need to do, because Level R is gonna take out majority of those scratches, but this guy's getting this boat coated, so we're gonna move to 3,000 just to make our life a little easier when we polish. And see how I'm holding the machine nice and slow, not like moving the machine quickly over the area, and then I've got a nice pattern. And just keeping it really consistent. Consistency is key here. I'm gonna run over it probably only once with 2,000, because I'm gonna follow it with 3,000. All right, so we've got majority of this compounded out. I'm just going over some of the scratches I'm seeing one more time to get them out. If you're still seeing scratches, just continue compounding if they're light scratches. If they're super heavy duty, then you need to go back to wet sanding. But if they're light, you can get them out with Level R most of the time. And you'll notice sometimes I speed the machine up a hair and getting the surface a little bit hot. Sometimes getting a little hot melts down that resin, kind of glasses it out. scratches are fine because we're gonna get those out with Elevate. I'm just looking for deeper scratches. A couple up top here. We go back right here. I'm just marking out where I need a compound. Some heavier scratches down here. Just run over these areas one more time. You can see how much compound I have too on the surface. I speed the machine up, getting it a little bit hotter, but I still have compound on the surface. That's still important. You want to have enough compound on the surface. You probably see swirls now. Not too many like hard scratches. And if there are any, the majority will be taken out in the next step, which is going to be Elevate. Alrighty. So now that we've finished our compounding and we've already wet sanded, we're gonna go ahead and switch out our single-sided wool pad, and we're going to exchange it for a blue foam hybrid pad by Lake Country. This is one of my favorite pads. It is a cutting pad mixed with the qualities of a polishing pad. It's a synthetic wool, lamb's wool blended with foam. One of my favorite pads used with Elevate, which we're gonna do right now. You can use this pad on other machines, but me personally, I like using it on a rotary machine. And the reason I like using it on a rotary machine is because I can get the surface a little bit hotter. Using Elevate, it's more of a finishing compound, so it doesn't have as much abrasive in it. And utilizing this pad, the qualities of it, is going to give you a really glassy finish. It really brings out clarity, and it even melts down small micro scratching as well. This pad will leave like holograms behind, so you're still gonna have to polish out with a 21 millimeter, or you can also utilize a force rotation machine as well. I use this process on majority of everything, but I use the entire Stark lineup, from Level R all the way down to Ignition and Triple P for all of our projects. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this to work, stop talking, and show you guys. When you work this product in, you're gonna work it in nice and slow, and then once you get it all worked in, you're gonna turn up the heat on it. This is where, to be honest, I'd rather have a corded machine, but a cordless will do the job just fine. A corded machine is gonna get a little bit hotter and melt down that resin. Also, consistent and flat. Alrighty, so now that we've got all that, and almost no scratches are left behind after this, you guys can hopefully see a big difference there. All that marring that we had over here, Scotch-Brite marks all over here, are all gone now. Clarity is really good, and this is gonna get a little better when we follow up with Ignition and this blue HDO on this Rupes 21 millimeter. This is a brand new pad, so it's gonna soak up a lot of the polish that we put on here. I usually put like 4 big dots, and then I'll work that in, soak up the pad, and then carry on. But these pads are dense, so they don't soak up the product as much as you would think. They're designed to kind of keep the product on the surface, and that's what we're gonna do here when we polish this thing out for our last step before we would coat it. Same thing with the polisher. You want to make sure that you're getting spin. If you're not getting spin, you're not going to correct anything. And right now I'm running at like 3, turn that up to about 4. So we're just going to finish this area out with Ignition, wipe it down, and then move on to the rest of the boat, because we've got to prep this thing to get it coated, or for coating. This little bit of polish that I'm putting on the pad, how far it actually goes, because it's actually not seeping into the pad. It's going onto the surface, which is what it's intended to do. That's why I love Lake Country pads. Go ahead and grab a nice fresh microfiber. Wipe this area down. That's it. Fully wet sanded with 1000, 2000, 3000, compacted with level R on a rotary, or with a rotary and a single-sided wool pad. Elevate on a rotary with a blue hybrid pad, and Ignition with a blue HDO on a 21 millimeter Rupes. And then we're ready to coat, but that's gonna be in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe for future videos. This is Michael with Marine Detail Supply. You can follow us on Instagram at Marine Detail Supply, Tampa Bay. Thanks for watching.